Hi dear doctors, welcome to the class of 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗺. Myself Dr. 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗺. I am your pediatric faculty and the topic of discussion is gastrointestinal tract, and the topic which we are going to focus today is pyloric stenosis. So before I just go in the theory of pyloric stenosis, let me just show you like what do you mean by pyloric stenosis. So can you see this is the area where there is pylorus, and if the lumen is narrowed down, this is called as pyloric stenosis. Okay, so please remember that narrowing of the pylorus is something which is called as pyloric stenosis. Now because there is narrowing of pylorus which has happened, what is going to be there? So please understand that USG is going to show you all these signs. What are these signs? So can you see this is something which is called as, because of this is something which is called as caterpillar sign. Then you will have this sign, this is called as teat sign. Teat sign. Then this is just like a beak, so it is a beak sign. Then these two are actually the shoulders, so you can remember the shoulder sign. This is the part of diamond, so you can remember diamond sign. This is the mushroom shaped thing, and this is a double or triple track sign which is there. Now I know that it's very difficult to understand what hell is happening, so just I'm going to draw something for you. So this is the two shoulders which I have made. So first of all there will be double means double and triple track sign. Then shoulder I have given, so this is the shoulder sign which is going to be there. So double shoulders, in one hand this person is going to have a mushroom. Okay, so this is a mushroom in one hand, and then there is going to be a caterpillar in other hand. So caterpillar is going to be in other hand. So mushroom sign, caterpillar sign. Okay, of course face is going to be there, that is called as beak sign. And then there is a diamond which is there on the head, so this is called as diamond sign. Only the teat sign you can remember, or you can just remember that mushroom is responsible or will be used in giving the treat, so this is the treat sign or treat sign. And this is the pyloric stenosis induced, and because of pyloric stenosis the pressure increases that much that you can say that the part of the stomach is going to come out, one thing, or the part of the stomach was out, that is why there was stenosis. Both of these things are actually possible. So let's understand about the pyloric stenosis. So it's an acquired condition. Please understand, always pyloric stenosis is not acquired. Mostly it is acquired, but sometimes we see that it is called as congenital hypertrophic pyloric stenosis as well. So what happens, there is hypertrophy of the circular smooth muscles which is going to be there, and that is why it leads to narrowing. Of course there is elongation, but there is narrowing of the pyloric channel. So please understand narrowing and elongation. So narrowing is going to be there, and there is going to be elongation as well. Okay, so you know what, this narrowing and this elongation is so important that it has been asked in exam, but I have not incorporated this, so this becomes your homework to just let me know in the comment section like how long and how narrow should be the pyloric canal in order to call it as congenital hypertrophic pyloric stenosis. Okay, so you have to just let me know. See, this hypertrophic pyloric stenosis is actually, can you understand, like this is like this. Okay, so the pylorus is very much stenosed like this. So this is on on USG it is also called as antral nipple sign or target sign. Okay, these are also called as antral nipple sign. Cervix sign is something which is called as, and if you cut it like this, so then you will have just like the two targets. Okay, so this is also called as target sign. So target sign, cervix sign, antral nipple sign, all of them are of your CHPS. So please understand that because there is an obstruction, in order to overcome that obstruction, the stomach is going to contract, increase contractions, increased gastric peristalsis which is going to be there. There will be compensatory gastric dilatation or compensatory gastric distension which is going to be there, and of course there will be gastric outlet obstruction which is there. Now since there will be vomiting, because of course if something is not going ahead, so the thing is going to come out from your mouth, but just remember that the bile duct has not opened yet in the intestine. That is why it becomes very important to understand that the vomiting is going to be non-bilious, the vomiting is going to be projectile vomiting. The vomiting is going to be projectile vomiting, the vomiting is going to be non-bilious. But the main problem, so if somebody asks you what is the most important problem in case of CHPS, so please remember that because of increased vomiting, there will be loss of HCl, and since there is loss of HCl, so H gone causes metabolic alkalosis, Cl gone hypochloremia, and of course there will be hypokalemia which is going to happen. But one thing is there, that is paradoxical aciduria. Why? Because see, in congenital hypertrophic pyloric stenosis, what is going to happen? There is going to be what? There is going to be decrease in amount of water. Now since there is decrease in amount of water, there will be release of aldosterone secretion. And since there is increase in amount of aldosterone secretion, that causes sodium absorption, and there is something which is called as potassium and hydrogen excretion. Now since the potassium and hydrogen has to excrete, this is paradoxical aciduria. CHPS has a very strong connection with erythromycin and smoking, so please don't forget this. These are important. Erythromycin and smoking are extremely important. So now please understand that it is mostly seen in 3 to 6 weeks old first newborn, and there will be of course non-bilious vomiting, there will be projectile vomiting, and the child is going to be hungry after vomiting because everything is going to get expelled out. Okay, there will be a palpable olive mass in the right epigastrium, in the right side of the epigastrium. So why right epigastrium? Because there is going to be something which is called as hypertrophic pylorus, and because of the hypertrophic pylorus, there is going to be olive shape in the right epigastrium. Now, how will you diagnose this? So, in order to diagnose this, a very good modality is ultrasound. That is going to show you, that ultrasound is going to show you the antral nipple sign, the cervix sign, the target sign. I have told you. Barium radiology is actually, we are doing it, but it is less preferred. So, what is preferred is going to be ultrasound. USG is something which is important. So, what you do, you cut the smooth muscles, okay, you cut the smooth muscles of pylorus, and once you cut the smooth muscles of the pylorus, this hypertrophic pyloric stenosis is going to get relaxed. So Ramsted's pyloromyotomy is something which is the treatment of choice for pyloric stenosis. So what we are going to do, longitudinal split of pylorus with blunt dissections to the submucosa. But please understand, this is not the first treatment. The first line of treatment in case of CHPS, the first line of treatment in case of CHPS is going to be, please correct their dehydration, please correct their metabolical alkalosis, and then replace the fluids, replace the electrolytes, and after that you are supposed to do the surgery. Otherwise, there is no point in doing the surgery and even putting the patient's life in danger. So thank you so much. This is the end of the class of CHPS.